You see the title, you see the thumbnail, you use YouTube, you know what's going on here. These are my best games I have played in 2024. So first we'll start off with a 20-year-old game in Silent Hill 3, and this is probably my favorite Silent Hill game I've played this far. I won't lie, I played Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill 1, I think that's about it. I played the awful, what is it called? The Silent Hill, I don't know, that new shit that they did with Konami, that it's a hype of the remake. I don't remember what it was called, with the girl and suicide or something like that. You know, it's pretty much all these games at this point. But that one, which is alright, I guess. But yeah, Silent Hill 3 is probably like the best Silent Hill game I've ever played. I don't know. I think it just has the perfect combination of the story and the combat, you know, whereas earlier games, 1 and 2, not having the best combat, not having, not that part of it isn't that interesting. Versus, you know, having the whole complete package. Fuck, English is my first language. Complete package. And yeah, I think this is probably the best Silent Hill game I've ever played. Next, we're gonna keep this emulation train going with X-Men Legends. See, X-Men Legends was a game that came out on the GameCube, and it's me re-experiencing my childhood almost, you know, on my modded Wii, and playing some older games that I used to. But X-Men Legends is one of those games I never thought on paper I would have an interest in. You know, an isometric view, you know, the Diablo style combat in Diablo style combat. I never really had that much of an interest with, unless I was playing with someone else. But X-Men Legends, it just doesn't. And maybe it's because of my fandom towards X-Men and how much I enjoy the X-Men and how like consistent it is with the actual X-Men lore. That makes me enjoy it so much. But this is a banger. This is a banger, and I can't wait to get an X-Men Legends 2 and the follow-ups. What is it? Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Yeah, all those games as well. But yeah, X-Men Legends. Amazing game for the GameCube. GameCube, great fucking console. Love that shit. Next, we've got the Resident Evil 2 remake, and this is by far the scariest game I've ever played. The best horror game I have ever played, bar none. Nothing even comes close in my eyes. Just the way Mr. X stalks around the entire station is immersive, it's terrifying, and it gets you entrenched in trying to escape this place, man. It's awesome, and I don't know why there hasn't been any other game that can replicate what that game did to this degree. RE1 Remake is pretty good. It's pretty good, but not like RE2 Remake was. Somehow they have ported this old game to the third-person camera, and it works perfectly because they're still following the same philosophy that the first games had, the original Resident Evil 2. Like, the philosophy is still alive and well, just translating it to somewhere else. Not necessarily the same as like an RE4 remake that has gotten so many re-releases that the original form is translated so many times the original meaning is kind of lost, almost like how the Bible is. But yeah, RE2 Remake translate all that stuff that made RE2 original amazing and makes it amazing in the modern day. And I just can't have enough love for this game. Every fucking so often I just get the urge to play this game again. But yeah, RE2. Next we got Inscryption, which is a card game, which also is shocking to me that I enjoyed this much, like X-Men Legends, because I don't really play card games. But this is not just a simple card game. It is the most surreal game I've actually probably played this year, probably next to Pony Island and the like. But yeah, it's the most surreal experience, and if you know me, you know these are things that I definitely enjoy. And it even has its own horror elements, and it's not just a simple card game. You know, it's a game within a game within a game, and the more you'll play, you'll understand the more that I'm saying and how fucking mind-boggling this game actually is. You know, it's a puzzle game at the same time. It's a card game. It's a, you know, all of that. And it's so fucking fun to play and practice. Combining these horror elements, combining the puzzle aspect, and combining the addictive ass card game that is Inscryption. It is probably one of the best times I've had this entire year. Obviously, it's on the fucking video. It's one of the best fucking games I've played this year. But yeah, Inscryption. Play that shit. You need to play that shit. Well, next we've got one of the biggest RPGs to come out in the past 20 years, Baldur's Gate 3. This game, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it came out last year. Just only got around to playing it this year. but it's definitely lived up to all the hype. See, I didn't really believe that I could enjoy an RPG like this, the isometric view like this, until I started playing Baldur's Gate 3, and they actually gave me cutscenes that are, rendered, like an original game. Not an original game, I'm sorry, like an ordinary game, In my brain, I imagine these to be a lot more different experiences where I don't necessarily get to see my character up close and personal. So I get to push the camera forward and push it into a third-person perspective if I would so like to, which helps me a lot in immersing myself in the game and appreciating the game as it is. But regardless, once I finally settled into, the combat, everything about it, it was a fucking breeze, and I didn't even mind having the pulled back camera and enjoying the game in a different way, approaching things from different viewpoints, There's just so many things in this game that I didn't really even imagine possible to be done in games because, I feel like I've been wishing for the things that Baldur's Gate 3 implement. I've been wishing for this in so many games for so long. I've been wishing for these things in GTA, just the open-endedness of things in Skyrim, but Skyrim could never live up to the hype. In Bethesda games, they could never live up to the hype. But Baldur's Gate 3 does all those things in spades. I can't underappreciate it, man. I can't underrate it at all. It's probably the best RPG of its type, at least of its type, to ever come out, I think. I don't know. I don't make the rules. Maybe I do. But yeah, that's what I got to say about it. Next, we got the best game of all time. I don't care what nobody says. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. This is that shit. This is that heat. It's insane to me that this is the only thing of substance Microsoft can create for me, man. Honestly. But Baldur Cyberfunk is that fucking shit, bro. That is that funk. That is that cold shit, bro. That is that shit, bro. Oh, God. I can't even tell you, like, I can. I mean, it's my job. I'm a fucking YouTuber, but so I will tell you. But Baldur Cyberfunk is probably the coldest chill game I've ever played. Like, it isn't, some booming narrative or something like that. It's interesting enough to keep your attention, but the main loop isn't around the story. The main loop isn't around some the best graphical fidelity you've seen yet. No, it's just a game around skateboarding and doing tricks on bikes and rollerblades. But the way that it does it, man, it's the best version of a Tony Hawk Pro Skater or any of those BMX type games you could ever see, bro. It's just so full of life and colorful. And once I finally got around to modding that bitch, oh my mic just fucking fell. But oh my God, it's literally the best fucking experience, man. And I probably am gonna sink hundreds and hundreds of hours into this game. Unfortunately for me, I only got to it around the latter half of the year, this December. But nonetheless, man, it's literally the best. And if you're gonna get this game, try to get it on PC, because you're just gonna have so much more fun trying to mod the game versus the vanilla experience, which is still good. It's still fun, but I feel like when you allow your players to interact with it in a more hands-on approach, you're gonna get a lot more life out of your game. Just look at Bethesda. It fucking works. But yeah, Baldur Cyberfunk, game of the decade, game of the millennium, game of the universe. Baldur Cyberfunk, play that shit. Next, we've got another GOAT, and Mullet MadJack. And this game I came across, I think, almost by chance. But once I saw this game, it had me thoroughly locked in. I was waiting for that release date, eyes glued to the fucking screen, watching that calendar, checking it off, ripping it off, just eagerly awaiting this masterpiece. Man, this is the boomer shooter I have always wanted, probably. Like, it's just so much, it's overstimulating almost when you first play it, but oh man, it's overstimulating in the best way. There's just so much fun and humor and life to this game. You see me breathless, speechless almost to describe it, because I feel like these games are at this point achieving what I've probably wanted to play all my life, like I can just hop on and play and be amused and have fun. And his fucking quips are the greatest, man. He's a fucking Chad of a fucking character. He's awesome. But Mullet MadJack is the boomer shooter, and I just think it's so cool that these franchises are even joining together. Like Ultra Kill and Mullet MadJack just got a collaboration project, and they have a new mode around this collaboration, and it's awesome to me. That's so fucking cool that even two big indie games like this can collaborate, in the same genre. That's awesome. That they don't feel that this has to be some type of competitive thing, where everyone can eat and enjoy all these games. And I'm definitely going to go play Ultra Kill later. I know a lot of people talked about it, and I'm definitely going to get around to it. But yeah, Mullet MadJack, man, that is amazing. Amazing. It's the same vein of Bomber Cyberfunk, but okay, maybe a lot more than Bomber Cyberfunk, because Bomber Cyberfunk is a little chill. You can be chill playing this game, but you got to be locked in. You got to start knowing what you're doing. It's a little bit more difficult, but not that much. Enough to feel compelling and challenged, but not enough to not feel like it's a chill experience, because it definitely is, and it's definitely probably my favorite shooter I've played this year. I don't care about your Warzone. I don't care about your other shit. Probably gonna get around to like Tarkov and shit. Maybe around the Tarkov, but best fucking shooter I've played this year. Period. Yeah, Mullet MadJack, gotta play that shit, man. Alright, so we got another fighting game on this list, and we got Tekken 8. It's probably my favorite recent Tekken game I've played, and it's definitely my favorite story that I've ever watched happen. It's awesome. It's so fucking cool and goofy and dumb. It's amazing. It's amazing. And no, by no means am I the best Tekken player, and probably not even an average one, probably a little bit below average. I don't know. I don't play that much Tekken, but nonetheless, I've had so much fucking fun playing that game with friends, online, in the story, man. It's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. And even the DLC when that dropped with Heihachi and Eddie, bro, I was so excited, and I was scared that we weren't even gonna get an Eddie, and then we did, and then we even got Heihachi and an entire story along both of them. And I thought it was just going to be some basic, fight 5 guys in a row and maybe you'll get a cutscene. No, it's a whole other story mode. It's so fucking cool, the amount of effort they put into that. And not only did they add that, they added it for free. You may not get the characters, the DLC characters to play, on your own or online or separately, but that story, you're still allowed to play that story and then experience the story with everyone else. And that's awesome to me, man. And that's awesome. I wish more games would follow suit, but you just know it's not going to happen. All the microtransactions going around, it's a bug. And we can blame Bethesda for that too. Nonetheless, Tekken 8, banger fucking game. Coldest game. Tekken 8, Tekken period. Tekken is that series, man. Tekken is that shit. You gotta play Tekken. You gotta play Tekken 8. You gotta play Tekken 3. You gotta play Tekken Tag Tournament. You gotta play all the Tekken game shit. Maybe not all of them. Maybe not all of them. Maybe not all of them. But Tekken 8 for sure. Tekken 8 is an amazing game. And I can't wait to see who they add for a guest character, because I feel like it's gonna add so much more life to that game as well. But, the roster's already decked enough as it is. They don't even really need to. They can really just add, any legacy character or even a new character. Nonetheless, bro, that game has so much fucking more life to give, and it's gonna be awesome to see what happens in the future. Alright, next we've got Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. And keep this in mind, I'm not the biggest Dragon Ball fan. I know the story, I know the majority of shit going on, and I know a lot. But playing, as for, enjoying the series, I'm not the biggest fan. But that being said, it's still probably, I can't even say probably, it's the best arena fighter to come out ever. I think I can say ever, honestly. Just the amount of detail that went into this game, into making it lore accurate for the most part, making it unique, all these unique rab animations, animations between characters and dialogue, and all the moves, all the characters. It's they gave you everything you could have ever wanted, almost. But for the most part, they gave you everything you could have ever wanted with this game. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, it's there. Whatever you want, it's there. Or it's coming. Either way, or I've had so much fun playing this game, and not only just playing with fucking friends, because that took up the majority of my time, but the story. The story, we all know the story, and we all know how it goes if you know the Dragon Ball universe or whatever. But with all of the alternate pathways, it's so cool to see how other things would have played out. shit, I feel like the majority of Vegeta fans are very interested to see how other things would have played out if he actually would have won half of his fucking fights, you know, instead of being a habitual jobber. But that being said, everybody has something interesting here. Not just Vegeta, it's Frieza, it's Piccolo, it's Goku, obviously, Gohan. Everyone with a major, you know, every major character has a unique story, and it's awesome to me to see that play out, man. It's awesome to me. I enjoy it so fucking much, man. But it's probably the best. It's not the most balanced game, no. Yeah, I've had my fair share of dickheads playing this shit. Yeah, for sure. There's a couple of Yajirobe's I know. But before he got buffed. But, you know, there's definitely some cheese and definitely is unbalanced, but it isn't meant to be. You know, it isn't meant to be this esports game or something. It's supposed to be the fun game you play with your friends, man. It's does that in spades, you know. It's always the fun game with your friends. So I'll give it that. And it's probably, you know, if it wasn't Tekken 8, you know, it probably would be fighting game of the year. You know, but it's a lot more of a casual base, so you can't win. Nonetheless, Sparking Zero, one of the best games I played this year. Love that shit. And we got another beat 'em up coming onto this list, and it's Streets of Rage 4. Actually, I think it's the only beat 'em up on this list, but Streets of Rage 4, nonetheless, is one of those banger beat 'em ups. You know, it is actually a good game. You know, as for the graphics, it's pretty as hell. And as for the fighting, you know, it's uncomplicated and easy to jump into. There is a skill ceiling, but it's not that hard to pick up, man. It's a very pick up and play game. I played this with my girlfriend, and it was awesome to play that. Honestly, like, it was very cool to see a lot of those retro characters added to this version as well, you know, to play with. I think it's Sora, the guy with the blonde hair. Yeah, it was very fucking fun, and the bosses were challenging. It's not a easy game by any means, but it is definitely tackleable. It does provide a challenge, but you can pursue, you know, and you can persist and defeat everyone in this game. But nonetheless, man, this is an awesome game. I like the way it looks for sure. I love the music especially. The animations, it's the way how it's consistent with the original games, and it's not necessarily trying to add so much onto it, you know. It's just trying to, you know, make it look a little prettier, make everything done look a little prettier, and give you some more options to play with, you know. And I enjoy that very much. And Streets of Rage 4 is probably my favorite Streets of Rage game now, and probably my favorite beat 'em up ever. Played Scott Pilgrim versus the World. That one's a little difficult. Don't really like it that much. I've played Shredder's Revenge. It was okay. I played a couple of Ninja Turtle beat 'em ups, but none were Streets of Rage 4, and I very much enjoy Streets of Rage 4. It's a great game, and honestly, I wish I would have picked up the DLC when I had the chance. But nonetheless, play Streets of Rage 4, man. If you got a girl, play it with her, bro. If you got a boy, play it with your boy. Like, what do you mean? Play Streets of Rage 4. It's a great game, man. And those were the best games that I played in 2024. What were your best games you played in 2024? And yeah, you know, maybe a lot of my list isn't games that actually came out in 2024, but this is my fucking channel, and I don't play that many games as soon as they come out, because not all of them catch me in the same way that, you know, something else I've had an interest in for a while. I still haven't, oh god, my fucking mic fell down again. I still haven't played The Witcher 3. I still haven't beat Cyberpunk. I still haven't beat Baldur's Gate even. That's on this very list, you know? So I definitely have some things to get around to before I just start saying I'm going to buy whatever new game comes out. So, yeah, I understand you like Black Myth Wukong a lot, but it's not on my list. Didn't play it. That's all I can say. But tell me for sure, what was your favorite games of the year? And, you know, play some video games.